Welcome to She Power. My name is Nelly Milya. Today we have Wamae and we'll be discussing child bullying. This is a topic that is sensitive to the society, but it's good for us to enlighten people to be able to know what it's all about. Welcome to She Power. So Mercy, today we're going to start with a case study that was done in London, and I'll read the whole story and then we can be able to pick it up from there. So we have Rehema talks about her daughter Inaya was bullied when she moved to an English school, and Rehema and her daughter Inaya moved to London from France in 2005 when she was 13. To help her settle in, the school employed a French-speaking volunteer learning assistant. Reassured by the school's willingness to help her daughter, Rehema thought things were going well until she realized that her daughter was being bullied at school. And this was being done by a group of young girls. She said, for some reason, a group of girls decides that she was not cool to hang around. To this day, I do not know why. There might be a reason for this. There might be a lot of reasons for this. I also don't think I paid enough attention to her as I was busy trying to adjust to a new life. She was trying to get used to her new environment and would be really quiet anyway. These girls would say she was pretentious and full of herself, but her shyness was misinterpreted. Rehema said it was perhaps a lot of changes for her daughter to deal with, a new language to learn, a new school, and having new friends to make. London may have been very daunting for her, as we used to live in a small town where everyone knew everyone. So we see this is a very sad story here. And what's your take on that in terms of maybe we start with the definition of child bullying?
Child bullying. Child bullying is when an individual, or a child for this case, decides to threaten, to intimidate, or threaten another child, or even aggressively, victimize the other child.
Yes.
It's really a form of, I would say, for a child to reach to a point whereby they are threatening, victimizes, there's some kind of an imbalance, social imbalance in the child. It could be a social or it could be a physical imbalance in them. And the victims of child bullying are kids that are standing out. It could be because of their physical appearance, could be because of their social status, they're lower in the social outstanding, or maybe others' race, it could be color, all that. It's a lot of, it's really about standing out from the others.
And actually, some of the other ways that you realize a child is being bullied is when they're teasing them, picking up on them on purpose, spreading rumors about them. And I think we should take a bit of scenarios where child bullying is seen, or even bullying is seen. And one of them, I think, is about online bullying.
Yeah, we can say, first of all, there are 4 ways of bullying. We have the physical bullying, we have the verbal bullying, we have emotional, and the cyber bullying. So physical is for boys. You would not expect boys to fight, but emotional, we have emotional. Girls get to chat, talk bad things about the others. And then we have the verbal, speaking bad things about them, and the cyber, which is really online text messages. Nowadays we even have WhatsApp. So much. So there's so many kinds of bullying, and it could take in any kind.
And I think also when you talk about online bullying is when people also send embarrassing photos, videos that were not meant to go out there, and it affects the person who is being harassed in this case. And I think some of the effects are being withdrawn,
sadness. As a parent, I would say as a parent, some of the things that you can look at for your child and realize are being bullied is the withdrawal, there's a sadness, and all of a sudden your child doesn't want to go to school. You need to ask yourself, why don't they want to go to school? There's also, they don't want to eat. They complain of stomach aches or headaches all the time. And it can go, if it's not really taken care of at a stage, you can have very serious repercussion of that. Like there's a case of the Colombian students. I don't know if you heard of that, whereby the 2 students who did the massacre in a high school. And what happened is they were victims of bullying. You see, so it can end up being a cycle whereby the child is bullying, is bullied, then they take it over to the next child because of the results of what happened, and it goes on and on. So
Yes.
it has to reach a point where it has to be stopped
Very
before
true.
it goes on in cycle.
And do you think it's an issue of background, upbringing,
I
or
would say because in a bullying situation you have to look at both ways, the bully and the victim. So the
Yeah.
bully, when you look at the background of the bully, when you look at the why, when you look at the bully, what are the characteristics of a bully? First of all, they have tendency of violence.
Yes.
They think that how to solve a situation is through violence. You realize most of them, they're very aggressive. They're even aggressive towards adults, towards the children of their age. And probably there's a social problem in that, at the background, and it comes from the home really, because you have to look back. And for the victims, when you look at the victims and the bully, it all comes from the home. Because for the victim, when you look at the preventive measures for a victim, one of the things that you say is teach your child to be assertive, teach your child to be positive. At the same time, the bully, teach your child the same thing. Because if a bully is assertive, they have a low self-esteem, they'll end up to take it out to the victim.
person,
so
yes.
both ways, it has to come back from the home.
And I think one of the things that people need to realize is that there's a difference between being assertive and being aggressive.
Yes.
Because unwanted aggressiveness is what now ends up being results into bullying.
Into bullying.
Yeah, and
Yes.
now you get to hear cases of harassment
Yeah,
and beating up and
yeah,
all that.
yeah.
And what are the characteristics of a bully?
A bully,
Yes.
like I said, you realize how they solve their situations is through violence.
Yes,
they
yes,
cannot
actually.
solve situation really. If they have a disagreement, they will go to physical. Then you realize they are a kind of a self-esteem, not like dominating.
Yes.
They want to dominate everything. You know,
Yes,
if it's you're in a game, they want to be the ones that dominate in everything that they do. You realize that they have a lot of restlessness in
Yes.
what they do, and there's also the issue of how they relate to the parents and to the other children of their ages. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
you can notice that kind of a behavior towards a child who is a bully. Yeah.
There's a study that shows, I saw that on Yale School of Medicine, it shows that there's so many suicide cases
Yes,
that
yeah.
are there, and it's as a result of being bullied in school.
Yeah.
And when it comes to school, when kids are being bullied in school, that means there's a gap even in school.
Yeah.
And maybe some of the things that we need also to look at what are the preventive measures,
Preventive measures,
yes,
yes.
that a school should take to be able to curb the harassment and all.
Nelly, I was reading research on Hillcrest, and allow me to mention that.
Yes.
And I looked at their policies and guidelines on bullying, and it's so clear. If you look at the policies and the guidelines they have, because normally the problem we have, especially with the Kenyan society and the schools, it's the reaction. It's really reactionary. There's a bullying case, then you react.
Yes.
But it needs to go from the beginning. It needs to have a preventive kind of a situation. And I like what Hillcrest have, the policy they have. They explain clearly who is a bully, what is bullying, because your child probably is experiencing something in school, but they don't really think that is bullying.
It's
you know,
true.
someone is taunting them in school, someone is doing this, but they don't think it's something that, and if it progresses, it becomes now worse. So they explain clearly, this is bullying. They explain, this is what you should do. Then they have a policy that every child who goes to school is given a handbook with the policies and the guidelines, and they have put in specific areas of the school a copy of the bullying.
of the
So
book.
you know clearly this is what happens. They give the consequences of bullying. If this happens, this is what's going to happen. And they also, it's not about, and another mistake probably they make is when we have a situation of a bully, they end up punishing the bully, and
Yes.
it ends there.
Yes.
But you see, yes, the child has bullied this child and you've punished them. They'll become very aggressive toward that child, but they'll go to the next person. So it needs to go beyond the punishment. And I like what Hillcrest does is, apart from those measures of the punishments and all that, they also do the counseling. They counsel both the victim and the bully.
Yes.
Because you need to help your child go beyond that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and actually in counseling, one of the things that people need to look at is, do the child understand that they are a bully?
Yes, yeah.
Do all kids understand that bullying is wrong? So the basics that are here are meant to start from the definition point, like what is bullying,
Yeah.
understanding the results and the repercussions of bullying and everything, because at the end of it all, as you said, when you punish the bully
Yeah.
and you leave it at that because of that scenario,
Yeah.
then it becomes a big problem. Yeah, and also one of the things that I felt that is good as a prevention measure is encourage children to speak out.
Yes,
What do you have to say?
yes. There's some few things, a few tips you can have for your kids that, especially for as they are growing up, the young ones, some things you can teach them and you actually do is practice, with them. First of all, the teaching of their confidence. They talk about confidence. Teach them how to stand up tall, how to speak out. You can actually do it in the house. Stand up straight, put your shoulders out, talk assertively. That is one. The next, you can teach them how to voice. Use your voice. In case you're in a place, maybe in the classroom, and you have your desk mate is bullying you and the teacher is there, shout. Don't be afraid to say, teacher,
Yes.
this, whoever is bullying me.
Yes.
Shout it until the teacher responds. And then there's another way of, there's the bullying, the verbal one. You can teach your child to use, it's called a dustbin thing. When you're at home, you teach your child physically, get a dustbin and say, I tell you you're stupid. Take the stupid from my head and throw it in the dustbin. So they'll learn it in their mind. Now when they go to school and someone tells me I'm stupid, in my mind I throw it and I say, no, I'm smart.
Yes.
I don't want to play with you. Then the child can say, throw that in the dustbin and say, then I'll look for another friend. Teach them to have that kind of
confidence and the ability to express themselves.
And also be able to take out the negativity from their mind and build in the positive. And another point, is inclusion. Another way that kids can push out other kids is inclusion. In the playground, this is found in the playground most of the time. And the kids are playing and they decide, this one is not going to play with us. She does not,
Yes.
So teach your child, if they say that, go there. And they ask, we can't play with you. We are too many.
Yes.
The child, you can teach your child to say, there's always room for one more.
Then
They say you're not good enough. I will learn as we play.
Exactly,
Those kind of
yeah.
things. Or finally, they say you cheated last time. Then the child can say, well, I didn't know the rules. Then we can create new rules. So that teaches your child to be able to even include herself in what is happening. Yeah.
And now, when it comes to a situation where it's a teacher who is bullying a child, how do you get to go about that?
I'll go back to voicing to the parents, because sometimes our children, maybe parents have so much going on, and maybe your child comes and they're afraid. The first is voicing. There's fear. There's fear that comes with the victim. Yeah, when you teach them how to voice that, you need to have an environment in your home. My son is still young, but we are learning to make sure that we ask him every day, how was your day? What did you do today? You see, the more you keep on talking to your child, they're able to express themselves. And if I go today at home and ask you, what happened today from morning to evening? They'll tell me everything that happened.
Yes.
So if you have that kind of relationship with your child, when they come in the evening, they'll tell you, teacher did this, teacher did that. So you as a parent now, you can be able to take it from there. And I mean, you see, bullying, when you define bullying, the bullying is between children. Bullying, really, child bullying. When it comes to a teacher bullying, that is not bullying. That is child abuse.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So that one now becomes a different case. And that's why you need to have a relationship that the parent can be able now to take it up with authority and really... child abuse is not... It's
in another level.
It's in another level.
All right. So we'll take a break. And once we're back, we'll continue with our discussion on child bullying. Don't move a muscle.